Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday, time for a little wisdom. And I wanted to share with you some additional tips in terms of creating health. We started this discussion last week in terms of trying to eliminate wheat and dairy for 100 days. And for many of us, this is a huge challenge. And this time right now is already challenging. So why would we really want to delve into making huge changes? Well, of course, I think creating health in this time is important because I want everyone to have the best immune system in order to fight the viruses and different things that come our way. And so creating health is one of the ways that will allow us to do all we can for longevity and to be able to battle those things that are out there. Longevity is one of those things that many of us have felt was really related to our genetics. We're just going to live as long as our parents did. And that's not necessarily true. It's really thought that only about 20% of longevity genes really play a major role. It's 80% of lifestyle choices that really can turn these longevity genes on and off. And so I'd like to just look at 3 different things that we might look at besides eliminating wheat and dairy to help us create and improve our health, particularly our immune system. So number 1 would be to eat less often. This was suggested by David Sinclair in a summit that I listened to last week, and I just wanted to share some of the information that I learned from that summit. But eating less often, certainly we've talked about intermittent fasting, eliminating a meal here and there, but for many of us, that's just too much to ask right now. So I thought one of the things that we could do that would be simple would be just to eliminate snacking. We just really don't need to have multiple elevations of insulin throughout our day. Trying to get our insulin into 3 small time periods would be really ideal in terms of beginning to turn off a lot of the inflammatory genes and lower insulin. We know that we will live longer over a lifetime with less insulin overall. So I would encourage you to be aware of trying to eliminate insulin, and less snacking is one of the first things that we can do. Secondly, I'd like to suggest that we move more, but a little bit differently than what I would say that most of us are doing right now. Certainly many of us have gotten back into the gym and with our trainers. But for those of us that are just walkers or who are just doing simple walking pets around the block or even maybe long distance walking, one of the things that we know that can really help our system adapt and create better health is to do more burst type training and exercising. It seems to have much more impact on turning off our aging genes and turning on our longevity genes by doing what we call high intensity interval training. For those of you that are not really interested or not really familiar with this term, it really means to just push the body to its limit and then rest. But limit for just a short period of time. There's even just a 4-minute type of what we call intermittent high intensity interval training that's called Tabata. And it's 20 seconds of high intensity with 10 seconds of rest. It's that rest that really makes a huge difference in terms of helping our body readjust and improving our what we call parasympathetic tone, which is that rest and digest side of our nervous system. And that is what gives us a tool when things get really stressful, is improvement in our parasympathetic tone. That's what meditation helps, but that's also this high intensity interval training can make a huge difference. So even if you don't have a lot of time or you're not interested in really pushing yourself, anybody can do 4 minutes. And it's just 20 seconds of high intensity work, whether it's just jumping jacks or you're running or you're on a bicycle or you're swimming, and then you rest. And you do that 8 times. And so 30 seconds, 20 seconds of high intensity, 10 seconds of rest. You do it 8 times, that's 4 minutes. Easy to do. So another suggestion. Now, number 3, and lastly, was something that I hadn't really had much experience with, but have started practicing, and that is cold showers. I think all of us would think, oh my goodness, that's challenging. But the reality here is that cold showers do an awful lot to boost our immune system. It certainly increases circulation. It improves circulation to our organs, to our brain. It can actually lower blood pressure. It can improve our neurologic system. Many, many things that cold showers can do. Now, if you are not really anxious to jump into a cold shower, perhaps what you can do is get into your normal shower and begin to lower the temperature and see how that works for you. But I've actually gone to a cryo tank place here in town and have gotten in a cryo machine where the temperature actually gets down to maybe 180 to 220 degrees below zero. I'm in there for 3 minutes. It's quite cold. And then I get into a very hot infrared sauna, which is also quite good for detoxification. So these are things, but now I'm also working on trying to do cold showers, and I think that there's great data for what that can do for us from a longevity standpoint. So here are 3 little things that we can do, kind of baby steps. You can certainly cut out snacks, can look into doing just a really short burst of high intensity interval exercise, and then work your way toward doing cold showers. All of these things are small little steps toward helping turn off those aging genes and turn on our longevity genes, and can be quite powerful. So hope you all can look at these things to perhaps begin to incorporate and continue our program of creating health. You all have a great week.